my volume up. I will turn y'all's volume right about there. Greetings and salutations, travelers. Welcome back to the Inn of Planar Crossroads, and welcome back to our Broken Universe game. And in our Broken Universe game, we are at session 10, I believe. Players are party level 3. Woo! Party level 9.
No. I can get that. Hold on.
No. Party level 3. And we are going to be moving forward with the story. For those of you looking, we are down Lucia because she has Thanksgiving stuff going on, and that is the week that we're recording this. So, alright.
Way to date the episode.
I know, right? I know. They don't... It's just like a peek behind the curtain of how far behind we are uploading, and then I'm like, oh no. And then I'm like, okay, just calm down. What they don't know won't hurt them, but then they know. Anyway. Continuing our announcements, always less than 5 minutes. Patreon for the IOPC and Black Dragon Gaming is still going on. For the IOPC, for the Planar Crossroads, which you're at, we have a $50 goal and a $100 goal. At $50, we'll give away a rulebook of the winner's choice, and at $100, we'll give away a still pristine copy of the Pathfinder 2nd Edition Playtest book, and we are also going to give away another probably rulebook of the player's choice, so of the winner's choice, so that may be there. We may switch that up a little bit. It'll depend on how many subscribers we also have at that time. So, we will see. The 400 subscriber one-shot is still in the works. Should be getting some more information about that soon. But we'll let that continue to simmer until we get just right. And I believe that's all the announcements that we have for today. I don't have any more down. So, if there's nothing else from everybody else, we can jump right into the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think so.
All right, then. So, when last we left our travelers, we were kind of... it was revealed that they had been talking to the Bright General all the last night that they were... well, not all the last night, but the last night when they were eating. The person that they wanted to come and check out and to be like, hey, who's this person and stuff like that. They were talking to him, and they were saying everything that they wanted to say and talk about. I don't know that they necessarily said anything they wouldn't have ended up telling anyway, but they at least said it in a more candid manner, I guess. But he has come, as agreed, that next morning to visit you at your hotel because he didn't want everybody knowing what was going on, because he's not the only one that has eyes, as he indicated, like his, which seem to be able to see things that are not readily visible to other people. So you guys aren't sure what they are, but they have a kind of white glow in the iris when it's activated, but whenever it's not activated, his eyes just seem to be a very pale blue. So, all that said, you guys are still in Antelia. So, and he has come to the door. At this point in time, we're going to say that Tibelda has not gotten up yet. She seems to be sleeping in, which is a little uncharacteristic for her. She's sleeping in a bit more than she usually does. She hasn't roused yet. So.
We ended off last session opening the door for him and letting him in, so... Mm-hmm. But I imagine that happens.
Okay. I'm sorry to have intruded in such a way. I did not mean to catch you. Should I wait downstairs, or...?
No, it's fine. I ain't got nothing to hide.
Apparently.
Yes, you kind of caught us with our pants down, he says as he pulls up his pants.
Oh, I see what you did. Yes. That's true. That seems to be true. Well, hopefully you have found at least the accommodations to be... Well, I do hope you'll forgive me for not revealing myself as the general you were seeking yesterday, but I thought it prudent to know who was inquiring about me before I just said hello.
Well, better safe than sorry, I guess.
Yes.
I can't say that I appreciated it, but I can definitely say I would do the same if I were in your shoes.
So we are at war here with the other Atlanteans, so from New Atlantia. So, but again, I do apologize for that. Your friend seems to be not to pry, but not looking so good.
Yeah, she doesn't normally sleep in this late. Hold on, I'll wake her up for you. Tibelda! And he'll walk over to the bed and nudge her. Or I don't know. Was she sleeping on the floor? Because everybody.
Yeah, she was on the floor.
Yeah, I'll go nudge her with my foot because everyone's weird about sharing our giant 8-foot wide bed.
It's a pretty big bed. So you push Tibelda with your foot on the shoulder, and as you do, it's like one of those slow-mo things where it's like part of her back and forth, like a camera doing mini shots but in slow motion, and it's fading back and forth. You guys move normal, but she seems to move like that, in and out. So
Cashew just loses it. This is just Arcturian all over again.
Yeah. And
what are you screaming about, Cashew?
She's all shaky. He gets down on his knees. He starts trying to shake her awake. He just gives her a little because he's gigantic, so he doesn't actually slap her because he doesn't want to break her down.
Okay. So you start to do that, and that's when he turns his eyes over. And as he does, you see that they glow. Make me perception checks, if you would.
I would if I would take my dice tray.
This is a game.
My things out of it.
This is a game, where you take these little oddly shaped pieces of usually plastic, and you toss them into a tray or onto a table.
Well, you don't use metal dice, bro? What are you, some sort of plebeian?
I wish I had some metal dice. I'd like some metal dice.
They are expensive.
Mm.
Oh man, now I have to find the end of my notes again. So unprepared for this thing that I had hours to prepare for.
Jarrko is seems to be distracted by his dressing ritual.
Yeah. I only got an 8.
And Cashew is just not in the right mental state after seeing Octarian just straight disappear.
Oh yeah, he's losing his mind over here. Tibelda!
So you do you guys kind of don't see anything as this happens, but Jalurie sees that when his eyes are activated, it's not so much that his irises glow. They do glow white, but also the it's like a shadow passes around the area that he's used, around his eyes specifically, so that it appears even more bright than they may actually be. Kind of like having a little LED in a big bright room. A big dark room. It's not bright, but it appears a lot more bright when it's surrounded by something that's darker. So you're not necessarily sure if that was a trick of his eyes lighting or if it's just like an effect that happens, but that's what you see. And that happens, and he does kind of, not necessarily intentionally, but perhaps unintentionally, you guess, activate his eyes, perhaps out of habit for wanting to see. And he immediately goes, "Ah! What is that?" And closes his eyes and turns away.
It is the symptom of people disappearing.
You did not see the... you didn't... Don't shake her anymore. That was not pleasant. Just leave her still, if you would. Perhaps I could see a bit better.
All right, yeah, he stops moving her, and he's still like crouched, sort of over her. Charlie's got like one of her eyes open.
Her eye does not open, but it is as if she's dreaming. It does have the rapid eye movements going, as if she's dreaming. She's not very responsive, and you see him, you can see that he measuredly does it this time. He slowly lights his eyes, and as he does, it gets a little bit darker and a little bit darker, and because he's doing it slowly, you can tell that, yeah, it gets a little dark around it, so that his eyes light a bit more, or appear to. And that kind of happens, and he does it really slow, and he says, she seems to be separating from herself. There are cords everywhere, and they're trying and they're straining to break.
She gonna break? Is she gonna die?
I don't know. I've never seen this happen. This is new to me. Are you are sure that you don't want to? I don't know anything about this really. I'm just here to help you. Would you rather go to someone else? Take her somewhere? It's up to you.
I think that the only place we need to go is back home. So... and that's kind of where we wanted to get in touch with you.
All right. I don't think I can throw you to time. I don't know anything about that. I don't have.
Do you know
any
anyone
time
who
magic.
would?
Well, the only people I know that would have that kind of magic would be perhaps the determined counselor or the good doctor. Those are the only ones I know.
What do you guys think, doctor or counselor?
I still think we can talk to this person. This Zolk.
I am Zolk.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You are talking to him.
What?
Right, but you're like insinuating that we should go somewhere.
Well, because he can't send us back through time.
Right. I did not expect him to be able to send us through time.
Are you meaning to go back to where you were in the future, but in the past? Is that... Oh, where was that? Do you know what part of this town it was in?
It was some part underground.
Underground. Well, we have an entire sewer system. We don't use it much because most of the toilets that we have, most of the indoor plumbing is consumed either through the disintegration magic or through the slimes. So,
Just right into a waiting Audiog's mouth.
yes.
No.
There are several creatures that you can use. We've dominated several of the species on Sosnakra that are quite useful for the disposal of such things, but that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Probably
Right. In the future, we just use balls.
bowls, magic bowls.
No,
To
like
handle-
just like pottery.
So you handle your own waste.
Some people have other people handle their waste, but most people handle their own.
I don't handle my waste.
I'm unclear then on what you mean, but either way, I'm not sure what the deepest part of this place is. Probably the deepest portion would be under the castle. I'm not sure that I can just get you in there, but I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure you can if you just exert yourself a little bit.
Perhaps. Let me see. Was that something from
the
me?
underground place where we were, it wasn't in a sewer, was it?
The underground place where you were appeared to be from worked stone. The stone was dark and kind of not necessarily a flagstone, but more like it was a worked dark stone. So explaining that may help, or just trying to figure out what was in it, like what had been in it before, might work.
What?
Could it have been a tomb?
I mean, there was a coffin in it. Sarcophagus.
Wasn't it to the west of here?
And there were doors and like portcullises. Stuff that you wouldn't find in a sewer. I think. I don't know. I've never been in one.
Well, it's not a very nice experience. It stinks quite a bit.
It was really big, and it was deep underground, and all the walls were like stone, but like not like a cave, but like how dwarves do stone.
So it was worked stone. Okay. What type of stone was it?
Like dark, flat, long stone.
So it wasn't decorated, you're saying? It was not pretty or anything like that?
No, it kind of felt like a prison, honestly.
Well, there is one of those underneath the castle. So, that could be a possibility. Would a higher up view help you understand where you are going and looking for?
No, because if we were high up, we'd navigate off landmarks that probably don't exist anymore.
I don't know.
You don't have like a giant rock in the town?
Giant rock. Most of the town is built upon. We don't have a lot of natural rock.
Do you mean like the boulder or the bird?
I believe he means like the boulder.
Yeah, maybe one shaped like an ox.
An ox? No. We don't have anything particularly like that I know of.
What about
We'll have one in the future.
what about places with sarcophagi? Real fancy ones with bunches of runes in them.
Well, we have a museum that houses some artifacts that were from before the Great Cataclysm. I'm not sure that is what you're looking for, because it is very beautiful there. There's lots of worked white stone that has been enchanted to change colors to complement the different exhibits that occasionally go through. We don't use sarcophagi. That is something from perhaps Pedan or Iran.
Right, but we kind of like find you in one though, like in the future.
Well, that is troubling.
Well, I mean, everyone dies.
Do they?
In my experience.
He doesn't comment specifically on that.
By the way, before we go, do you think you could teach me how to make that fancy wine?
Oh, I'm no winemaker, unfortunately. If you're not in a hurry, I could always let you go to one of the breweries. It's a very common wine here, so you could probably get the rest.
How that makes it work?
I'm not sure. Could always look.
And could I find a recipe somewhere, perhaps?
Probably.
Are we walking and talking as we do this?
You have not left your room yet, so.
Okay.
By the way, as Jalurie is getting ready for the day, she will cast mage armor on herself, because she has that now.
Okay.
I am wearing a breastplate. And a bastard sword. And a shield. I've basically turned into a guard overnight.
Okay. Well, Cashew probably was carrying around a lot of stuff. So.
Well, yeah, there was. Yeah, this is even just stuff that we've been picking off people since we got here.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Hopefully, when we go back to the future, all of my stuff just doesn't like crumble away to rust.
Doesn't ooh. No, I'm not going to do that to you guys. All right. Well, what do you want to do with your friend? If we're going to go look, what do you want to do with them? With her? The human may not stay last. I don't know.
Or maybe we should leave her here.
Yes, I think we just lock the door and hope that she's still there when we come back.
Well, I don't think anyone will come looking for her. It's more a matter of whether or not she can get on her own.
She doesn't disappear like you know who.
Don't you put that evil on me?
He'll like pick up Tibelda and like put her on the bed and like tuck her in, and then he's gonna go like write a note to tell her where they're going.
Okay.
Because I can read and write despite being a big dumb ogre.
You are quite intelligent for an ogre. So you go ahead and start to pick her up. It does that whole shift thing where there's like 4 of her as you're picking her up as she's moving and traveling, and Zolk immediately goes, ah! And
Oh yeah, sorry. You should probably close your eyes.
Everybody,
Stop looking at her.
the threads are breaking, and everybody needs to make me a. Let me see. This is a. Which save is this? Doesn't say. Where'd it go? Make me a. Make me a reflex save, I guess, is what we're going to go with.
Nah.
It's just, aww.
Some stuff you're bad at. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a 10.
Okay.
Rolled an 18, but I don't know if my armor is gonna mess that up for me.
Possibly. Depends.
22.
22?
You said reflex?
Uh-huh.
Gotta find that in here. This is confusing. That's just basically dex, right?
Yeah, it's
Dex plus something.
Dex plus
Level.
proficiency. Yeah, Dex plus level. Dex plus proficiency.
Huh.
Oh, excuse me. It is not... There
Oh,
it is. I found it. It is 8. It is a athletics check. There we go.
Athletics?
Yes. So that
Darn
may
it.
work out better for some people. You may still use the roll if you already rolled.
Not bad.
It's the same modifier.
Okay, so I can't raise a shield as reaction yet. What did you say, athletics?
Yes.
That is worse because of the armor. That's only a 19.
Okay. So let me see. Jalurie's a 17. Reflex. Jarrko.
10.
It's still a 10. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's kind of what goes on. When he says the threads are breaking, you indeed kind of see that actually as he picks Tibelda up. You feel like you hear this ripping sound, and it's odd that you hear it because there's this soft, breezy melody that's always on the breeze here in Atelier. But it's like that's still there, but it immediately silences for a moment with this rip that you hear. And a rip is as best as you can kind of allude to with the auditory response. There's a tear, and you see Tibelda go and kind of 3 Tibeldas are there, and they kind of disappear into this tear that has now visually appeared. And not only does that happen, but there's this sucking, this movement of air deep into that rip that has come in, and both Jalurie and Jarrko are pulled into the rip. Before that happens, make me a quick perception check, if you would, everybody, as we see all this happening, to notice something.
Okay.
I was gonna say, does that rip lead back home?
That would be awfully convenient.
Well, that was easy.
Just had to go talk to a guy.
What, Jepson? Modified 20.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. So your dirty 20, let me see.
Can I?
A
What is
natural
sense motive? Can I sense motive this portal?
No, it has no motive.
Is this
so-
a no good, rotten, dirty, bad portal?
This is a neutral portal. It has no intentions. It's just a fact of nature. You are spoiler if that's spoiling something for you.
I feel like I could sense motive a tornado and be like, that's bad.
I don't think you need a sense motive to know that a tornado is bad, but
Just
okay.
a really low DC, okay?
So Jarrko got a 13, Jalurie got a 20, and
I did not get a 20.
I got
Oh,
it.
12.
I got a 12.
There we go. Those two don't notice because they're too busy getting sucked in to this place. And you go. We're gonna say that you guys did get dressed and everything because Jarrko was saying he was doing that, and it was assumed that Jalurie had. I would be kind.
Jalurie slept with her boots on.
I'm pretty sure
She
Tibelda-
always sleeps with her
fully
boots on. Yep, and Tibelda was fully dressed. So you get sucked through into this, you two do, and you don't see it, but Cashew sees when it happens. It's like a lot of shadow just rushes in to the immediate area as this opens up, and it seems to rush in, and it's a 20. You got a 20, so it seems to rush in, and it seems to not just come from all around, but especially the darkest part of this shadow seems to pull out of the out of Zulk, and it seems to like it hurts when it does. He doesn't make any extra noise than he was before, but it seems to pull and jerk from him in an unwielding manner. And almost immediately this starts to repair itself. And you see Zulk has opened his eyes fully and is looking at the portal, and you see him exerting will towards it. And he says, "Are you going after them?"
Like, yeah, I guess I have to.
Cashew!
So,
And he tumbles in after.
okay. So, you jump in after them, and you start to immediately tumble. And as you're tumbling, it's not a tumble like, oh, this is motivated by gravity and I'm moving fast because gravity is a force that's pulling me, and so on and so forth. It's rather that you jump in and it creates this slow, almost like you're in water movement that's faster than perhaps what we would consider 0G movement, but not so much that you're completely disoriented. And you see that there are tendrils of shadow holding this rip open, and you see the general run towards the portal as well to jump in, and you kind of lose sight of him, and everything just starts to move. Like, at first, all three of you start to kind of notice where each other are as Cashew comes through, and at first you're all in this kind of, for lack of a better word, starry space. You are in, as best you can tell, the sky on a starry night. And it's this tumbling and moving that you're doing very slowly as you guys are trying to get your bearings on each other. And you start to kind of make contact, and then you feel this motion start to pick up. And at first you don't see anything around you really moving or changing, but once that rev up starts to happen, it just goes faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. And these streaks of light are passing by you. You're moving so fast that these little bits of light you thought were stars are just swimming past you at incredible speed. Everybody, make me a D100 check.
I'm gonna puke.
I hope low is good this time. We shall see.
We shall see.
Come on, there has to be a normal D10 in here somewhere. D1. Wait, why is there no D100 on here?
What?
Nope, there we go.
Ooh.
89.
So we got a medium, a low, and a high. Okay. So
Does Tibelda have to roll?
no, Tibelda does not have to roll. Tibelda's the MacGuffin today. Because as you guys are tumbling, you do see one. It's like you're catching up to something. And you're catching up and you're catching up and you're getting closer and closer and closer. And your gems, if you still have them, which
Well,
should
I don't have mine.
which should only be Jarrko, now that I think about it. Because Jalurie threw hers, and that's what set everything off. What?
You're muted. I mean,
Cashew was the one who threw it.
What was that?
Cashew threw his gem
Okay.
and hit the thing. Jalurie was holding hers out like a crucifix.
Okay, so you two still have yours, which is good.
Yeah, I'm lost in space here. It's I'm gonna have to learn to live with the spiders.
Danger, danger, Cashew. So you are moving through some kind of space, and at first you see the room, and you see a whoosh. You pass something, and you know it's probably it was Tibelda shaped. You don't know if it was Tibelda, but it's just shaped like Tibelda. But you still see in front of you a shimmering image of her as well. This one seems to go whoosh right past you, back the way you came. Another seems to go way in front of you, and another seems to go and it seems to fall way, kind of like a curve ball. It goes this way around you and way back away from you. So you find yourselves kind of moving closer and closer towards the one that was in front of you, but you see that you're starting to slow down. You're starting to slow down, and what do you start to stop.
Okay. Less nauseous now. But where are we?
You are close enough together to talk. There seems to be an aura that attracts. There's a glowing aura from an obvious source on Jarrko and Jalurie that attracts you guys kind of together, and it includes Cashew in this attraction.
Get some
Jalurie just sort of look around, like use her gem as a flashlight, see if she sees anything.
Okay. You kind of hold it up and around, kind of looking for things, and as you do, you're still in this kind of starry space, this space with little beads of light, and you don't see Cashew. He may have jumped in after you, but you don't see the Bright General.
Zor.
Well, you do shout, and it's like there's nothing there to reverberate off of. It's just, you say it once and you'd expect to hear the echo, but there's no echo.
But there's like a Tibelda shaped somewhere that away?
Well, there were three Tibelda shapes that went through the portal. One went whoosh back the way you came. One went way in front of you, and one went way back and around behind you. So where are you wanting to focus?
But I can see all three of them.
They're out of sight now.
All three of them?
Yes, as you guys started to when they got out of sight, you guys started to slow down.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Which one's closest?
I'll try and propel myself in a random direction.
Just at a random direction?
Yeah.
I mean, you move. You seem to move.
Oh.
Chloe's gonna try and
Alright.
hold out her gem in the direction of the Tibelda that went, further into the portal, not back the way we came.
Okay. So you kind of hold towards that way.
Which is, further in, correct? At least as far as we know.
Well, in is a very relative term.
Yeah, true.
In this particular instance. It went the way you were... It seemed to go the way you were going before. So.
Okay, that's the one I want to try and hold the thing towards.
So, you start to hold it there, and you kind of get pulled a little bit, and pulled, and pulled. And you guys start to see Cashew and Jarrko start to see Jalurie move away from them. A little bit faster.
Jarrko not also moving?
Well, he's not. He's just watching at the moment. And she's moving further away. A little bit faster now.
Oh, she's gone.
A little bit faster now.
She's gone. A little bit louder now.
A little bit faster now. But she's starting to move a little bit faster.
What happens if I turn it, point it back at Cashew?
If you point it back at Cashew, you point it back to Cashew, and you kind of, there's Cashew, and then you go. It's almost instantaneous. But you're right back on it.
Cashew screams.
Ah!
Ah!
Well, now we know how that works.
What works? Scaring the crap out of me?
Movement. We can move.
It was a movement that was terrifying.
Okay.
You can telepathort.
Teleport.
To teleport.
So, which way do we want to go?
I hate that word.
Which way do you want to go?
Cashew tries to do the breaststroke through this nebulous void.
I mean, you float, but you breaststroke, and you get somewhere. You get around the blue light that seems to be this blue, very faint blue aura that is kind of emitted by the two orbs.
Okay.
So
While still doing the breaststroke,
I don't seem to be able to go anywhere but around you two guys, so I guess you're in control. Oh no! No, Zook doesn't have one of those either. He's lost.
in space.
Oh, did
He's
he?
gonna have to live with the spice.
Did he jump in after you?
Well, yeah, because he's a cool dude.
I don't know. Right. Okay. Well, Cashew, if I can get on your shoulders, I can propel us both then.
I don't see how that works, but okay. Wouldn't that be the first time?
And he'll take out his this gem.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to Zolk. All right.
Why? We might be able to get home.
Yes,
Well,
but
I've
Zolk
been
is
pretty
in here as
bad.
well,
Left him in here.
and I don't live anywhere near here.
Do we have any idea what direction he's in?
I'm just going to imagine myself moving to Zolk.
Okay. You try to imagine moving to Zolk. You point your gem kind of around, and it's odd. Some place you'll start to move towards one thing, but you'll move just a little bit, and it'll stop, and then it'll kind of put your orb down, and you'll start to move another way because you were still thinking about moving towards Zolk, and so you kind of point it around, and it's like you move one way a little bit, and then you'll point it over here, and you'll move that way a little bit, but you point it this way, and you won't move.
Maybe we should try to bring him to us.
All right. Like how?
I don't know. Picture him flying through space.
Flying through space.
Hello,
What's-
you have a good imagination. You try.
What is space?
It's the thing with stars and shit.
Through the sky.
This is a callback to trees and lakes and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we should go after Tibelda, or at least one of her.
Your orbs start to drift apart from each other.
Oh, we are of two minds. You want to
Yeah.
split up?
All right. Let's imagine Zolk coming here.
Right.
Think real hard.
We will try along with them.
Wait, I'm gonna hold hands with Jarrko, with the hand that's holding the orb,
Okay.
The bead.
And then and Jalurie says she's also focusing on that, on Zolk.
She's gonna try and bring Zolk to us.
Formidable imagination behind this.
You start to see a ripple, several ripples, hundreds of ripples start to appear around you. And you start to feel yourself move, not through the ripples, but rather past them and around them. And you stop, and you're not sure if you're moving or if everything else is moving around you. And it's really an odd feeling. It's like that odd feeling you get when you know you're dreaming and you know you're flying in your dream, but you don't stop to wake up for just a moment, and you start to feel that. And
Man, I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting a little barfy again.
and the ripples that you pass seem to expand from the little points of light that you see. And as you're passing, you see, or as it's passing you, you're not sure. You kind of sense an opening of one of the lights, and it's a young, you guess, Zolk, who is being not born. He's already been born, but he's born, and his hair is already full, and it's white, and he has markings on him. And you see people talking around him and going to his crib and pointing and nodding. You move past
Jalurie's
them.
gonna stop before going in that.
Well, you're not going in it. You start to see these, and they look similar to the tear that you went through, but they have this kind of netting, almost like looking at through an old picture, through a canvas of an old picture that's very, very thin. It's a lot like that, and you see the weave of the canvas, and you pass by that rippling canvas, and you move past another and another, and you see one. You look to the side where he's apparently it's him training, and he doesn't have those markings anymore, but he's still very young and he's training, and you see him use his eyes, and he steps out of the way of a strike and then uses his training sword to hit his opponent, who is an older boy than him, quite a bit older boy than him. You see, as you continue to pass, a ripple again. Seems to be a lot of ripples around the time period, the moments that involve him in combat. Make me take your highest mental score and make me a check with it.
Just yellow.
Everybody, as you guys are passing these, or as they're passing you, however that works out.
However that happens to be occurring.
Ooh, there we go.
It's a hole in the wall on steroids. I'm not sure what that's a reference for, but 11 from Jarrko.
You don't know a hole in the wall?
No.
Yeah, like there's walls coming towards you, and you have to they're like cutouts and shapes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like that. It's like a Japanese game show.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's human Tetris. What kind of knowledge check would I have to make to figure where are we?
You guys can make me a knowledge check of your choice, if what you think might apply. Though magics would be all right. I'm trying to remember the knowledge checks. There's not a knowledge check for planes anymore.
No, I think that would probably be.
It falls under lore now or something like that.
Oh yeah, it might be lore.
I think you can also get it from like religion or
religion.
Yeah, I would say
or,
religion or occultism, maybe.
Yeah. You could get it from religion, occultism, perhaps arcana. So whichever you would like to use of those, you may.
Let's give it a shot.
That is a +4. Okay. So it's a 21 for the mental stat roll and an 18 occultism.
21 for the stat, 18 for the occult. Okay. What check is that? Religion, Jarrko?
Yep.
Okay.
18 religion.
So Jalurie doesn't get much from what she's seeing as far as what plane she might be in. But the Jarrko gets from his that he's not in a plane that seems to be aligned with a specific deity of any kind. It doesn't seem to work that way here. From the sense that you're getting, because what you're understanding is that you're moving through space based upon what you're thinking about and doing. You're thinking that's closest to the astral plane, which doesn't have a specific alignment. Maybe that's where you are. That might be a thing. What was your results on your occultism?
18.
18. You get a similar idea that it's something kind of related to the astral plane. As you guys kind of, time doesn't seem to pass here, or at least not in a way you can measure, so you don't know how long you spend doing this, but you guys converse with one another, and based upon your mental checks and your ability check, your skill checks, excuse me. The skill checks reveal that, yeah, this is most likely a plane related to the astral plane, but it doesn't seem to have anything to do with transition between the different planes, but rather transition between moments.
So we're in magic space.
Somewhere. And your mental checks are good enough to kind of highlight important events. So you see millions of events move past you, or you move past them, or however that works here. You see that happen. And as you do, certain ones stick out to you. The one with him being born. You see another with a battle, and you see him succeeding, and you see him fighting against some slightly differently dressed, probably Atlanteans, and you see him look across and see another army coming in, and it seems to be led by an elf, a full elf, that is riding down on both armies with shadowy steeds. And this one crashes into the others, and there's this tumult, and it moves forward, and you see another battle. And with this one, it's different. You can tell it's a different battle because he has aged more. And in this battle, there's something different because because Zulk is not. He's fighting all out, but he seems to be fighting. There's this whole tumult around him, but he's fighting and looking for this one person, and you see him find him, and you see him find an elf with long hair and full elf, very beautiful even for an elf, very attractive, who's has apparently gets off of his shadow steed and casts it away, and it just moves, and you see him come and clash with this elf, and there's this swing and backswing and cross cut, and this battle of them, and the elf seems to be using a characteristic elven curved blade, ancient design but still definitely elven, and he's wielding his flail with expert ease, and you see them. He smashes the blade out of his hand, but as he does, a dagger comes up and disarms him as well, and so then they come together and they struggle, and you see them stop for a minute, and they lock eyes, and you feel the strain in their arms, but then they stop, and the two generals kiss, and you move past that, and it continues to move forward and forward, and you see glimpses of who you're guessing is probably Atulus. And
I'm not guessing anything.
Yeah.
Ooh, what else do we know that summons shadows and is a dick?
Yeah. So you see that, and you see bits of them interacting, and these seem to be important to you for some reason. You can't quite put your finger on it as far as what all's going on. You see, as you're passing one of the ripples, a familiar cityscape. You see it, and it's on fire. You see 5 figures as it burns. One of them shakes their head and leaves. One of them fades away, You notice that as it does, it didn't have legs touching the ground. The three look back at each other, and they don't move away from the flames of what looks like Antelia. You move forward once more. You come to a struggling general. Zulk struggles and fights against some bonds that have been placed around him. And as he does, you see a black, familiar stone slab placed over him. And you see him stop for a minute and just wait at that last moment, and you feel a burning gaze just kind of pierce out from him. Not towards you, even though you're watching from a certain angle, but towards it, whoever it was that closed it. You come now.
We don't get an angle on who put him in the casket.
No. You can make a difficult perception check to try and catch a glimpse of maybe the hand or something like that was closing it.
Anything can happen. I could roll a 20.
I can roll 20.
I could roll a 20. I did not roll a 20. I rolled a 7. That's an 11.
That's not enough.
That's not good enough.
A hand, but you're not sure on what type of...
How many fingers does it have? The left hand or right hand?
You knew that it was a right hand with 5 fingers. That's all you got.
Ooh, that could be anyone.
No. It can't be someone with 4 or less fingers.
Oh.
More than 5 fingers. It's definitely not a 6-finger man.
No. So that closes.
I got 16.
You got 16? The hand was not as large as an Antelian's hand. So that is a thing. So it was possibly human-sized. It was both broad enough to be a dwarf, but also big enough to be a human. So it's not. It's somebody.
Yeah.
Some medium-sized humanoid with a gloved hand. Though, what was the result?
16 for Alex.
That's enough to let you know that there were symbols on the glove that he was wearing, but you don't know what type. Couldn't catch it. You finally start to not necessarily hear something, but rather you just sense something coming up that is not a bead of light opening into a canvas-like tear. And you see it before you hear it, because sound doesn't seem to travel appropriately in this area.
Mm-hmm.
You move farther, you move closer or farther towards it, and you start to hear and you see kind of on this floating bit of substance of some kind, almost like a clear glass has been put there, and there's this fight going on with it, not with it, but on it. You see the Bright General. You see Zulk, and he is swinging his flail back and forth, wailing on what you guys can only describe as a very large, misshapen, kind of wolf-esque creature. And you see him come back and forth on it, and it's shadowy, and it's not just shadowy, but within it, even though there is sometimes light here, whenever a light passes close to it, that light dims. Even if it's not touching it, even if it's not on the side that should go dark, it seems to darken. And you see this back and forth with the flail. And you start to see why he was given the name Bright General. Because every swing has a trail of white behind it. But along with that white, you all notice the accenting of shadow or darkness around it. So it's back and forth. And as you come close, he blows a final blow and it dissipates and starts to drift away in tendrils.
Turn around, bright eyes.
Fair enough. I was wondering when I was going to get to use that.
Yeah,
there you
I've
go.
been thinking that, like, just that for, like, the last 7 minutes of description.
There you go. See, I describe so that you have time to think up lines and such. So,
I've been thinking, like, I've been holding that back for the last 7 minutes.
all right. So, you find the general, and he hasn't turned to you yet. But you see, he's got his shield and he's got his flail, and he's kind of.
Zark! And, like, he waves. He's got a big arm in the air.
Hello.
So, you guys, hello, and all that type of stuff. He does turn, and it's like he's got a high contrast on his self going on. There's a lot of white, but there's a lot of black as he turns.
Uh-oh, it's Darklink.
Something like that. A lot more. His skin is super, super pale, but his eyes are accented by darkness, but they're bright for where all of his eyes, the sclera and the iris, all of it's bright white, almost like flashlights in here. You can see him look around, and he doesn't appear to be hostile, but you feel the shadow pulsing around him, and you feel the light. Every time that there's a shift in the way he moves or does something, you feel the power that is waving out of him. And
Yeah,
so-
Jalurie's wants nothing to do with this. She's gonna turn her mind to the procurer real quick, and she's gonna say like, "Hey, I'm going to that green guy," then she's gonna think about him.
Okay. So he
You think of green real hard, and it draws you to a celestial potbush.
you go to the year 420. But
I just was not expecting a weed joke from Adam.
So what kind of happens then is you see him, and he turns and he starts to wave. He doesn't appear to be hostile toward you or anything. He just what you doing? Where did you take me? And you guys start to respond. Jalurie decides to start to drift away. She starts to think about the procurer.
And she did tell him where she was going. She told him she's going after that green guy.
All right.
The man in green.
Usually when you try to think about the procurer, you can't pin anything down when you think about it. You can't. It's one of those things where if you're talking to him, you remember everything that you guys have done and said, and, all the interactions. You remember all that. But once you're away from him, you usually can't even remember what he's called. I mean, the best you can usually do is the guy in green. But you start to think about him here. And as you start to think about him here, things get... the beads of light start to populate. And they start to populate. and they start to populate. You start to think about, you continue to focus, and you start to not just drift away from everyone, but you yourself start to pull in multiple directions.
That doesn't sound good.
You start to feel that. That's what Jalurie starts to do. The Zolk kind of looks, oh. And
Yeah, she's gonna stop that and
Hello, Sulk.
We don't know where we are. That's a lot of light. What are you doing over there? What was that giant wolf?
I don't know. But I came to this place and I found this.
What's it holding?
It appears to be a piece of paper.
What did it say?
Great.
It was the only thing on this platform until that thing came along.
It's just a piece of paper. You gotta come to me. I can't move on my own. I don't have a rock.
Oh, I'll get us closer. I mean, I get him closer.
Oh, don't worry. And he says as he just goes.
Oh,
Now that I know where
How
you,
come he gets to do it?
now that I know where you are, it's not very hard.
oh, that's great. Right, so this paper.
is he like still high contrast creepy looking?
Yeah.
Jalurie's gonna think about the last place she was or the last time she was when she was in her own time.
Okay.
She just wants to get away from this guy. She's freaked out.
You start to try and pinpoint again. Instead of focusing on, you try to focus in on a specific time.
Like right when that rock hit, the gem hit the coffin.
Okay. You start to focus in on that time. You start to drift away from everybody again. And you may take your highest. It is very hard. Your head starts to hurt. But you can take your highest mental score and use it to try and move yourself to that space.
Okay, here we go. Ja. That might be a crit fail. I think I might use my hero point.
Okay. Would you like to roll again, negate the roll, rewind time, as it were, or what would you like to do with your hero points?
That would be 2 hero points, though.
Oh yeah, you're right to re-roll.
Yeah.
I forgot what just one does.
Stabilize you.
Oh yeah. I
Okay.
thought it did other stuff too, but all right.
Okay. Would anybody else like to lend her a hero point?
No.
All right.
Yeah, sure. I haven't been using mine.
Okay. So you may undo your roll. You may do all the stuff you want to try and do with your second,
All right.
with your 2 hero points.
I will try that reroll, and if I remember right, if it fails, I still get to keep the 1. I lose 1, but I keep 1. If I'm remembering correctly, it's been a while.
I feel like I should get to keep mine.
Yeah, no, I'll let you do that.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
No, it's...
Little better.
I don't think one more is gonna cut it. Sorry.
Nope.
Nope. That is. As you attempt this, you realize that this was a critical mistake. We'll say it like that. You all see Jalurie, and then her nose starts to bleed, her eyes start to bleed, her ears start to bleed, and she falls unconscious. Her glow ends, and she starts to drift away.
I think about Jalurie.
Okay, you think about Jalurie. You do not have a gem, is that correct?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm still holding Jarrko's hand.
Okay. As you
We'll never let go.
never.
Never let
We'll say that you have a gem working with you, and you can think about Jalurie, and you move over towards her. She is currently unconscious and not looking like she started to bleed here and here and then out of the mouth a little bit. She attempted something, and
Does her injury is it getting progressively worse, or this is just what's happening?
it doesn't seem to be getting any worse. She's unconscious. She can't think while you're unconscious. Well, you can, but she's not focusing. There we go. She can't focus while she's unconscious. We'll say that. So now we have Jarrko.
Right, so that paper, eh?
Yeah. So that's the paper. Well, here it is.
Oh, strange paper.
Did she
Looks like
did she
some.
hit point damage? Can I fix that?
Well, there was. You guess there's hit point damage. She's bleeding, but you're not sure how that works here, or what type of bodies you're even using. Mm.
Yeah, well, I'll try casting Soothe anyways.
Okay. It does restore any kind of hit point damage that may have been done. I did not disclose, so we'll just say that it was enough.
Where drips the rocky highland of Sleuthwood in the lake, there lies a leafy island where herons flapping wake. And it trails off from there.
What's happened to your friend?
I don't know. Drastic shift in tone.
She sort of like, did she wake up? I'm assuming.
No, not right now.
No, she's not
Roll me-
awake yet.
Roll me a. No, just not right now.
Just not right now.
Time doesn't exist here, you guys think, so saying it's this many rounds or this many minutes or this many hours doesn't matter. Doesn't matter here.
Okay, I'm gonna take Jalurie's stone, and I'm gonna put you on my back.
Okay.
Perhaps I will attempt to tie you there somehow.
You tie Jalurie on.
But I feel like carrying you would be a bad idea. If I have to put you down at any point, you just drift away into the ether.
All right. What?
So, can you read this, Zolk?
I have not seen that writing before.
Oh, great. Cashew.
Yeah, is it written in Sylvan?
It is not written in Sylvan.
I don't know, it doesn't look like anything I've ever seen.
I don't have comprehend languages. I'm not even sure it's a spell, to be honest.
Who knows?
Who knows? But, did you find your friend? This is
No, she's sort of all over the place.
apparently
We
so.
decided to start with you because, you jumped in after us.
But I didn't want you to go alone. It's dangerous to go alone.
See, look, I told you he was cool.
Thank you. suppose. But do you know which way? It doesn't seem like this place is that way to ask which way. But do you have any idea?
Well, we found you by, Jarrko mostly found you, I think, by, like, we thought about you real hard, and you were supposed to come to us, but I think everything moved you to us. I don't even think we moved.
I don't remember moving, but that doesn't seem to be a thing here anyway. I don't know, as this is an unfamiliar place to me. I am no planar traveler.
Yet.
Maybe if we do all we did to find you, we'll find her. We just gotta think about her real smart, like.
But she was separated, wasn't she?
Well, maybe we'll only find part of her.
Do we need all of her?
You probably do. Well, maybe one piece at a time?
All right. Maybe we start at the back, because I know there's one like way back there.
Which one do you want to go with?
See, I was kind of thinking we could, like, hold on a little bit. So, now we kind of saw, like, your life in, like, broad strokes.
Oh, it's dangerous to look at your life in the time.
Yeah, I don't want to see my own life. It's fine. I want to see someone else's life. Like, can we see anyone's life? Or just the people that are in here?
Oh, I hope no one thinks about Cashew.
I don't know. I've never been here before.
Right. So I thought we could, like, experiment. Because that's never dangerous.
Do you think that's wise?
What you do is you just mess around with time and space. That totally could not backfire on us.
I'm willing to help you. If you want to save your friends, I'm not sure that's wise, but perhaps you were not friends. That's much. But who are you wanting to look at?
I think we could start, like, easy with someone that is fairly, like, insignificant. Let's take Bucket.
I do not know this Bucket.
I'm not, man, that's real rude, but I'm not gonna argue with you.
Alright, let's think really hard of Bucket.
Okay.
I'm leading the charge on that one.
Well, it's got to be someone that knows where they are. That knows them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we know.
You and we met you like yesterday.
Well, I was here, so it probably made it a lot easier.
No one said it would be easy.
I mean, we're looking for Charlie Bucket, not the unknowable shadow creature that is Adam's NPC.
Hey, backstory. It's all for a purpose. But anyway.
Are we doing the mental score check for this?
It would be a mental score. You have a bead to use.
I have a bead.
It's a bead. You and Jarrko both know.
Oh.
So you may both roll and combine your score.
Oh.
My own powers combined.
I have 16 and a 14 for a total combined achievement of 30.
You feel yourself start to move. You move away from Zolk, but he seems to focus on you. As long as he seems to have his eyes on you, he seems to follow you.
Yeah.
So he continues to follow you, and he doesn't move as fast as you two do. He's only focused. his movement seems to be very much tied to your speed as well. You guys start to move. Things start to move past you again. Little beads, sometimes as small as a dust molecule. Not molecule, but speck.
Mote?
Yes, dust mote in the light. Sometimes as large as probably an ember, but they range from about that size, and they move past you. You come, as you're moving, you come to a place that has no sparks, that has no stars, that has no motes. And you don't feel anything here. You don't hear anything here. You don't hear your breathing. You don't see anything here. There's nothing here. And as the only sensation you have is something similar to motion, but again, it's not right. And it starts to slow down as you're in it. Make me another check.
Oh, he is really insignificant.
Oh, well, it's a good thing you rolled well. Actually, I got a 4, so 19 and 7 is 26.
You start to slow down some more. You start to get tired. But that's not even the right word. You start to continue to move, or try to, and you just don't feel like it. You don't feel. And then you think about it, and you know it's all right. It's okay. Maybe it's not, maybe you don't need to move. Make me another check.
Oh God, we gotta get out of here. This fucking void is giving us clinical depression.
Cashew, Charlie Bucket!
It's y'all's fault. I told you not to go looking places.
We traded. I got the high roll this time with an 18.
18 plus 6. It's alright. It's quiet here. There's nothing to bother you. There's nothing at all. It's alright.
Oh dear. I'm gonna peel off and think about Tibelda. This isn't getting us anywhere.
You try to. Who? What?
You're a little quiet, Adam.
Hey, I know. You're like, who? Who? What? Alright.
What are we doing again?
We're after the bucket,
Are you?
but we're only getting deeper in the bucket.
Bucket.
What do we need with a bucket?
Oh, gather things.
But there's a hole in the bucket.
Dear Liza, dear Liza.
I knew there was a bucket. I knew a guy named Bucket once. He couldn't carry a tune.
In a bucket. Make me another roll and combine your score.
And we all died.
I hope not. Okay. Just something. Just something, Cashew. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
22 and a 19. Okay, you guys start to look around, and you can't see well, but then you do start to see something. You start to see your hand, and you look, and where is it? Where are we going? We're going towards Charlie Bucket. Yeah, we're going towards that. Yeah, that guy. And you start to move again. You start to move forward and out of it. And you hear, as you get out of it, out of this void of emptiness, you come out of it and you hear Zulk going, Cashew! Master
Zark?
Dwarf! What? Where
Zark?
were you?
Where were you?
I've been waiting here on the other side. I wasn't going to go through that.
For what?
Through that empty space. That felt weird.
Do I remember going through the empty space?
Maybe like you thought you did, but you didn't, but maybe you did.
Alright, I'm just gonna call it then. Alright.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't think it doesn't matter. Just don't go through any blank spaces anymore.
Okay.
Where are we going?
See Charlie Bucket.
Oh. So you guys continue to move. You move through and you start...
That's his friend. I would never forget him.
Yeah. So you start to move through and you start to see those small moats again. Those small moats seem to have populated this area again. And those small moats and embers drift past some more. And you start to see them open a bit. You see a little halfling mom with 6 or 7. You can't keep a count. There's so many little other halfling babies running around. And you see one kind of hopping up and down, bringing his bowl over to his mom with some pottage in it. And the other kids have some, and you see her scoop out some. Doesn't seem to fill the bowl, but you see her scoop out some. And he turns around with all of his fingers still clutching his bowl and goes to the table. You come through some more. You see there's not a lot of significant points, it seems, with Charlie. You see a place where he nicks his first item. You can't quite make out what it was. All you see is him kind of... It's not... These aren't framed like you would frame a picture or a... these rips don't have that type of setup of a camera or a picture or something you're doing to make sure you can see everything. They're more like...
Influential to his respective time, unlike Zulk's.
Yeah. A lot of stuff happens to Charlie, not necessarily Charlie making things happen. You see, the few cases that are like that is you see him grab something off of a open air vendor and start to run off with it, but get caught summarily after. And there goes one of his fingers. Another time you see him, and this time he's meeting up with a familiar group to Jarrko and Cashew. He meets up with your old gang, and you see them interacting, and you see them... It's kind of like fast forwarding in his. You see them talk and move and stuff like that, and then he goes off to do something. You see that again. The next little mote is him with his next finger gone. And then you start to see something from a different point of view. You see him outside of a door. You see him nervously clench and unclench his hand on his dagger, and he kind of slips it away and opens the lock, and you see it open, and you see you guys at the hearth sleeping by it. You see him start to move in. and that's a familiar place for you. You come to him again, and at this time, you see him over the body of Mulgren. He's in the wagon, and there's a red glare around him. He seems to be frightened. He seems to be, as best you can tell, he's hiding from something. And there's a red glare around him, but the glare dances like firelight. And you see that he's got his dagger out, and he's got it ready, and he's just waiting. It's dark, aside from the glares that you get from this orange light, and that's kind of where you stop. You can move forward, or you can not. It's up to you.
Can we see like where he's at? Like where does it seem like he is at? Like, is he inside or outside or?
It appears like it's inside, but you can't be sure. It's dark enough that it's probably inside. He's probably inside somewhere, still protecting Mulgren. You can move forward in time if you want to, or you can try to move backwards some more, or however you want to do that. You think this is pretty close to your present time, as best you can tell from your previous checks, to start to identify important places in time.
Yeah, let's go forward.
All right.
Let's see his future.
Cashew's like got his fingers in his mouth, like
You move forward, and you see him still defending still defending Mulgren. He's not inside anymore. He is outside, you think, because there's more wind and it's flapping against the canvas and of the wagon, the blue wagon. Mulgren's body is not there, and you see him, and you kind of come to the side and outside of the wagon. You see a flash within the wagon, and you see him jerk and draw his dagger and start to lunge in. And that's where that kind of canvas closes.
See, he's all right.
I hope so. Let's find Tibelda.
Oh, you don't want to look at anyone else?
No, I think I've seen enough of the future for now.
Oh,
Jalurie starts to wake up now.
I have a couple of people in mind, but I don't think you can help me with them, so I probably shouldn't.
You guys start to look around a bit. You see, in this relative area, as best as that word applies, there's a lot of empty spaces.
Man, that's a lot of nothing.
It's Charlie we're talking about.
Oh, well, this is applying to other motes aside from Charlie's.
Jalurie, you wake up and you are tied to Cashew's back, piggyback style, and your stone is gone because I have it.
Think so?
Well, I'm holding it.
Are you?
Yes.
Look down at it. No. Ownership of stones doesn't transfer.
Oh no, I lost Jello's rock!
It's so bound.
What happened?
I don't know.
Why am I tied to you?
You fell down.
Where's down? She sort of like looks around. I'm just trying to figure out.
Smart ass.
All right. So she has woken up. As you guys begin to restart your search for Tibelda, we're going to take a break and let the viewers take a bathroom break, as we will take a bathroom break.
You folded like a picnic table.
A picnic table. All right. So we will be back in a moment, viewers. Stay tuned.
I'm gonna grab my, I'm sure, cold now pizza.
Turn my volume back up. I'll turn y'all's volume back up. Wah. Just a little wah. Alright. So, you guys start to drift towards Tibelda, explaining to Jalurie what has happened over the moments, days, weeks, months, years, whatever. She's been asleep. Or out of it, or whatever, or unconscious. And which Tibelda are you wanting to try and drift towards?
I guess the rearmost Tibelda.
The furthest back?
Makes sense.
I mean, shouldn't have said that and taken a bite. Do they all look like current day Tibelda?
When they separated, yeah.
I don't see why not then.
Okay. So, drift backwards, or to the rear, or you turn around, or however that works in this space. You drift and move, or it moves around you, and because you kind of had an idea and you had something to focus on, you're able to move with the flow, move back around. You do that, and you start to feel like you're getting close. Stuff starts to slow down, and you look around a bit, and you see there's that, and you guys start to not necessarily hear something, but sense something coming up. You move past motes of light. Zolk's been quiet the whole time, been letting you guys do what you need to do. You guys start to move past all the stuff that's going on, all the little motes. And as you start to move past, you start to see something in a similar way that Zolk kind of faded into view. You start to see movement, then you start to hear something. And as you do, you drift closer and closer, and you start to see a form And that shape is, as best you can guess, Tibelda, but she's at a moat. And the moat that she is at is not one that corresponds with her. You kind of get that idea, because it's like she's trying, something's moving her out or pushing her out of this space, trying to push her through the canvas. And along with that, you see an occasional tug on her. And you're not sure what it is at first, because this whole space is kind of a inky midnight black and blue, aside from the moats. And the one that she's at and has expanded out to show the canvas for her seems to have something reaching around it occasionally and pull on her arm, give it a good sharp yank. And she doesn't respond. She didn't move or do anything. She's faced, and it's like the space is trying to push her through the canvas to get her out. But this thing is trying to pull on her, not necessarily to keep her in, but you get the idea that it's hungry.
So it's trying to pull her into the moat.
It's trying to pull her to the other side of the moat.
Yeah. Do you mean like around it or through it?
Around it. Space doesn't quite work right, so yeah, around it is the best way to say it.
Let's just get over there.
Okay, you guys move forward. You keep moving forward and getting closer. There's a sound, a growl, and the hairs on the back of everybody's neck stands up. And you kind of look out of the corner of your eye, and running through this space, as if running normally, is that hunched beast you saw Zulk fighting. And with it, it has brought it has brought buddies with it. We'll say that. They're not exactly wolf. They're not wolf shaped. This seems to be something specific to, like the shape is something specifically that's hunting down Zulk. But what is coming with it is a humanoid-ish shape. And it's running is the best word you can use for it, but it's not. There's nothing solid for it to hit or anything like that. Zulk says, "I'll guard the rear. You get the woman, the human. Let's do this."
Right.
All right, come on. If we can muster a little speed, that would be appreciated.
You guys focus in a bit more. So, as you guys all look constipated, you get closer and closer to Tibelda, and by the time you get there, you hear a whoosh from behind you. You know what it is. It's Zulk fighting that big wolf thing. But you continue to move, and as you start to get close to Tibelda, you see come around it is a familiar person. It looks like Gip, but his eyes are gone, and inside is the darkness, his shadow and darkness. And he looks up at you and opens his mouth and says, "Are you here for dinner too?" And he reaches down and starts to bite into Tibelda, or the form of Tibelda, and his teeth don't quite catch, and he's trying to pull her again to the other side, to the back side of the rip. and you guys are close enough now to engage in this altercation. So what would you like to do?
Shoot him with mind bullets.
With mind bullets. That is an option I possess, perhaps.
So, why don't we roll a initiative? However, instead of your dexterity, you're going to use. Let me see. It goes int.
It's not
Wisdom.
dexterity though.
It's
Perception.
Perception instead of your perception. Well, actually, perception would work because that's wisdom based. Roll your perception check for your initiative.
No poo.
Whatcha? Oh, that didn't work.
I haven't done.
Didn't push the right button. There we go. Push that button.
So initiative. Jarrko is a 14.
Oof.
Jalurie, not hot stuff. What was yours, Cashew?
I also have a 10, but my modifier is 1 point higher, I think.
So 11. And
I think.
I think. Yep. Is that?
I think, therefore I am.
I am.
But the
Or
world,
you.
but if the world exists without you, does your thinking make you exist, or do you exist and so you think? But aside from that, these are a little weird. I guess they don't get a bonus. So, oh, there it is, perception 2. So that's a 12. Well, it looks like a Gip is going before everybody except Jarrko. So, Jarrko, you got your first attempt here.
Oh. All right. How to fight in space?
Yep,
In mind space.
in mind space.
How close are we?
You're close enough that if you willed yourself over there without any kind of special rolls or anything, you could get there.
All right. I will myself over there.
Okay. You only take one action to do that, so what would you like to do with your other 2 actions?
I'll draw my great axe and I'll try and separate him from Tibelda.
Okay. $13 to hit. We will compare that to his Zilibabber. Alright, you hit.
That's not. That's actually not.
Not a 13?
No, it's a +6. So it's more. It's 16.
Well, it hits. It's a 13,
Yeah.
just barely. For a damage of 14. Alright. I don't think he's going to have a whole bunch of hit points. Let me make sure. He's got enough. Alright. So. Minus 13. So you hit into Gip, or this kind of version of Gip, and it connects, and it seems to affect it. It reels back and goes, "Why did you hurt Gip? He's getting dinner ready." Says, "Why did you hurt Gip?
Oh, get off her!
It's dinner." And so Gip continues to protest about not being able to make dinner, but you do solidly hit. It does take a nice chunk of his hit points. And that means that it is now Gip's turn, I believe. Yep. It's Gip's turn. So Gip is not very pleased that you interrupted his preparations. And he is going to try to... Well, he's going to try and smack you. And as he does, you see him rear up with his big old hand to do an open hand slap. But as it's coming to you, his skin kind of breaks away from from the fingers of his hand, and it just kind of lashes at you, with his fist/claw thing. So,
His finger whips.
that's not a hit. That's a 1. So that does not work. Ooh. Yeah, it's a whiff. A 20?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 1 hit. Wait, that was his second hit. That was his second hit. So that was a 15.
That's a miss.
Okay. And let me see. We're gonna do one last one because there's no reason not to. Might crit. Oh, he does crit. Oh goodness, he does critically get it. He does get a 20. So there you go. That's why you always roll that last attack, I guess. So he's going to do that, and I'll give you the damage. No, that's the wrong dice. Not very much. 6 damage total, and you see him. The tendrils grab around you, and you are grabbed. And I need you to make a... Let me see. I believe it is a fortitude save.
$24.
24. You shake off some kind of something that when the tendrils grab you, they seem to try and push into your skin and spread out, and you kind of will it back out of you. So that is that.
Oh, you're nasty. Cashew.
You want me to do that?
It's nasty, so you should talk to Cashew.
Make it stop. It's nasty, this guy.
So there you go. All right. That means we are now at Cashew.
Okay. So I will spend an action to start my bardic performance, which is Inspire Courage. Okay, I just had to remember. I always forget the difference between Inspire Courage and Inspire Competence.
Yeah. It would be nice if they had a different word.
So that is a +1 on attack rolls, damage rolls, and saves against fear.
Okay.
It's a 60-foot aura, so every ally in a 60-foot aura. So that probably hits Zulk as well.
Zulk's farther back than that, but you guys had to move forward quite a bit to get to where you are. Okay, so that's out.
And then I will also cast Magic Weapon on Jarrko.
Magic weapon on what?
Jarrko.
Jarrko. Okay.
Yeah. On his great axe.
That's nice.
Jarrko.
Jarrko.
On his great axe.
On his great axe.
All right. So,
It's a +1 magic weapon.
did you want to move up?
It's an extra +1 to attack. And another damage die.
Why are we going at that one? Why
And
did this happen?
how Alex's Swedish accent sounds, I guess.
Alex, the Swedish guy's Swedish accent sounds Italian.
I don't know what kind of accent he's doing for Jarrko.
He's doing Jarrko. That's what he's doing.
Sounds a little cartoonish.
Those are the best accents.
So that's a total +2. With a +2 to hit. for Jarrko, +1 to damage, and an extra damage die.
All right, and that also means that is that just 2 of your actions, correct?
That's all 3. The spell is 2 actions, and the bardic performance is 1. But they're all material components because I'm singing.
There you go.
Singing
In space!
Space.
I'm in space song.
Oh, so it all sounds like techno? I guess it.
Yeah. Just yell.
All right. Anyway, you continue to do that, and now it is Jalurie's turn. Jalurie, what are you going to do?
Okie dokie. Jello. Well, why did I close my sheet? I need my sheet open. That's where all my spells are.
I
With
would.
another here too.
Seems foolish.
Sheet.
Am I close enough to cast harm as a 2-action thing?
As a 2-action, you're close enough to move up to him. Now, harm is 2-action harm
if
is
I remember
ranged.
right. For 2-action, it's 30 feet away, but I don't know how space works here.
Yes, you're close enough to move up to him in 1 action. So yes, you are close enough to do that.
I imagine linear distance is still the same.
It has a lot to do with how you think about it.
Well, I think that he's close enough for me to hit him, but he's too far away to hit me.
But is that what he thinks?
Doesn't matter, because I think it harder.
Oh, do you?
So, yeah.
The think off.
Yeah, because you look constipated, so you try again.
So Jalurie will do what?
Cast harm first.
Okay.
As a action, I think he gets a save for 2-round action or two action casting, which is a fortitude save, taking half on success, no damage on critical success, or double on failure. Crit failure.
And the DC is.
The DC is for some reason not listed in there, so 17.
17.
I was going to say, it's probably the same as mine.
Oh, got a 15 on the dice. Let me see what he's got to add to it. He saves, so half damage would be 6. Is that what I'm seeing?
Half of 9.
Half of 9. And that's
Yeah.
negative?
That's negative. Oh yeah, you're right. It is negative energy damage.
Hey man, we're in a wibbledy-wobbledy time space. That doesn't necessarily mean he's immune to negative energy damage.
Doesn't.
It doesn't necessarily mean that.
Yeah. Doesn't
It
necessarily.
could be really spooky.
It could. But it's not. You see it hit him, and he's you have to intend to heal in this edition. So it hits him. He does not.
Nah, it does both damage and healing.
If they're
Unlike,
affected.
unlike in first edition.
Applies to channeling in first edition.
Let me make sure that they don't have any kind of. Well, he is not technically immune. Oh, he has negative healing. Never mind. That's under his thing. So yeah,
Damn it.
he has negative healing.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah.
Well, that rules out grim tendrils. I don't know what I'm doing next turn.
You see that it doesn't just hurt him. It actually, that part where his fingers had split from each other, and where Jarrko had hit him, you see it go, and now he has more he's more focused. Busted fingers, if that makes sense. Busted finger tendrils. So, all that said, yeah, he takes some damage.
Okay,
that
and then
helps
for
him.
last action, I will shield. Cha.
All right.
And that will be my turn.
Okay. So, we come down to Tibelda. Tibelda starts to... You see some of the edges of the... For lack of the canvas, as we've been calling it, start to fray as she gets pulled or pushed, or however you want to think about it, further into the rift that seems to be the split that seems to be opening in time-space. Seems like there's a time limit on this fight. So, now we're back up to Jarrko. Oh, as Jarrko's turn comes around, everybody kind of looks back to see what's going on with Zulk. That smaller creature is starting to come towards you.
Good.
So, it's not going to make it to you this round, you don't think, but it's starting to come towards y'all. So, now, that means we're on Jarrko. What you doing, Jarrko?
I will use my shiny axe to kill him.
You get your shiny axe up there and kill him, then.
That might be a crit for 26.
26.
Actually,
It is.
27.
It is. It is a critical. So you do some more damage. Woo!
You know, do you get the extra critical thing on your weapons for anything?
Not
No.
not at level 3, I don't think. That's a level
Like
5 thing.
Cleric?
I think that's a level 5 thing. But, yep. So, am I looking at 17 damage total, or what am I looking at here?
Yeah, unless you want me to roll it again.
For your critical?
Yeah, or just double it.
Double it, okay. So, 34.
4.
Alright. That does substantially more than last time as you swing.
36 with the Inspire.
Oh,
Mhm.
36. So,
36.
you swing into him and you slice right down across his collarbone. And as you do, the magic axe, the magic of it leaves a trail behind it, and it shimmers as you go. And it almost makes a hum, similar to a that you sometimes hear Cashew do to get his tone right when he's starting to sing. So, sting right into him, and you lift it back out in some very anime-esque style. Shadow spurts out of his wound.
You make me choke on my pizza.
It was super effective. So, as that icky yucky blacky stuff squirts out of him, it's his turn. Unless you got some more stuff to do.
I want to go again.
I want to go again.
Oh.
Okay.
We're not in space time land. We're just in a Tarantino film.
That's a 22.
22. That's almost. Wait, is that 22 without the?
That is with the penalty.
Ooh, okay. But is that with
also the +2 from?
Yeah, is it with?
Yes.
Okay. I was about to say that's only one off. I think. Let me make sure. That's only one off from a critical. So. But anyway, you continue to wail into him, and how much was that again? Let me look.
12.
12 total? He is.
Yep.
You come down like this, and you hear it do another of Cashew's hums as it goes whooshing on the other side, and you feel the battle really get going.
Ooh.
And you're taking it out, and
I think I told you to leave her alone, you creepy creep.
that battle banter. Ooh, so harsh.
All right, I'll do a last one.
Okay.
It's a
No.
5.
No, that's gonna miss. But it's okay because critical misses don't do anything with weapons. So he's looking very bad. I mean, part of him is hanging off to the side, but it's he behaves like he's been hit, but it's like the pain is not there. It's like there's not anything there for him to feel. He just keeps on going. It's like, oh, but I've got to make some. And none of the words seem to come out right. Having half your body off will do that.
Just a little.
But now it is Cashew's turn.
What shall I do? Well,
I can't move under my own power.
You can, it's just real slow. But Jalurie's there.
Yeah, but I
You can do your magic weapon,
don't want to fuck up
spiritual weapon.
That's what I was thinking. I don't want to fuck up her positioning.
no special traits.
Are there any loose, unintended objects?
Technically he's lost some of his skin.
You're gonna shoot his skin at him.
Yep.
You can, I suppose you can technically do that because unattended body parts are technically items.
I am going to telekinetic projectile his arm into his head.
bits of him into him. All right. So you telekinetic projectile some of the floaty bits of himself that have burst apart at his head. Let's see that.
Yep. All right.
We're not bad.
What's my range to hit again?
Close enough. You're only like a movement away, so.
What's his AC like?
Well, what's your roll like?
Well, 23 would have been 10 above it, so 14 I hope hits.
Yes, 14 hits. So you hit him in the head. So how much damage are we looking at here? 'Cause
1d10.
okay, roll good enough.
6?
Plus anything?
I don't believe I get to add a stat to it till the... Oh, no, wait, this is a cantrip. This automatically heightens.
Yes, it does. You're level
Nice.
3. Six plus anything?
Given type, you deal double in a crit. No special traits. When it says heightened, it's referring to the spell level, right? Not my level.
It's the spell level goes up, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you can cast a second level spell, it'd be
Yeah.
casting as if it's a second level
No,
spell.
it heightens to 3rd.
Okay. So
Just 6th.
just 6 damage. Okay.
When it heightens to 3rd, it's a d8 plus my charisma.
Ooh, that's not bad.
Nice.
That's not bad. So you get the Gip is there, or whatever type of Gip this is. Whatever this is wearing Gip's skin is there.
+1, 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage.
I'm benefiting from my own Inspire Courage.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
you know, I would say no, but it's so close that I'm like, yeah, this is too thematic. So for thematic, I'm giving you 1 more point of damage, and the body parts that had flown off of Skinny Gip are now plunged into his skull, and so Jarrko's right there, and Jarrko, you see at first a small piece go, and it just travels right through, and then you see another piece go, and then.
Jarrko, I just Sith crushed a dude in front of you.
Oh. Creepy guy.
Creepy guy.
It does that whole where the head gets crushed and then that anime fountain shoots out. Well, it's shadow, and it shoots out.
I was picturing like the Witch King, how his helmet just like
That would be
crumples together.
His whole head kind of crumples together under the weight of his own body bits being flung at him. So there we go. And he kind of floats off into space, into whatever this is. And Tibelda's still there, and she's still getting that push into that, try and get through the canvas. It's not her. She still looks unconscious, but something is trying to move her out through the canvas, through the weave of reality. Mm-hmm. So it's now Jalurie's turn.
All right. What's on the other side of that canvas that we can see?
Tibelda's kind of blocking it. You can get closer to get a look.
I suppose Jalurie will go to Tibelda and try and pull her away from the canvas. Just a little bit, just sort of grab her.
Okay. So you go up to Tibelda and you try and pull her out of the canvas. Make me an intelligence roll.
Uh-oh. All right, here we go. 7.
You do not help. You do not help Tibelda move out of the thing. She's
I can't use
still
charisma.
Just spin us around and I'll do it.
Unfortunately, no, because in this plane it seems that you kind of flip around your scores. So
oh, that's interesting.
Intelligence becomes strength, dexterity becomes wisdom, and charisma becomes constitution.
Ah, gotcha.
Sturdy as shit.
So,
I'm hot as shit.
You still have another action, so you can try again if you want.
I still should have 2.
Well, you moved up there. Then you made then you made a check.
You're right. Oh, one more. I'll give it a shot.
Okay.
Here we go. 19.
Ah, there we go. So you start to pull on her, and she move. This part of her seems to move away from there, and you seem to overcome a pull as the last part of her comes out, and it's as you get it out of there, it seems to kind of blink, and as it blinks and kind of looks around, you see it fade away. Not necessarily in a bad way, but it's like somebody waking up. She starts to wake up a bit, and as she gets more and more awake, or seems to, drifts out of this.
So what is on the other side of that portrait, as long as I'm right there and she's not in the way?
As long as you're right there. You see, it's not too far above the ocean to where if somebody fell, they would die instantly because of the surface tension. But it's above the ocean, and, a little ways away, there's a city. And it's magnificent. You thought Antelia looked beautiful. This place looks amazing. It is magnificent. It is gold and ivory and shining. You would think it was on a different plane. You're not even sure that it's not. And the water is so beautiful and crystal. There are ships, sky ships, flying back and forth. And you see the sky darken. This beautiful place has the sky darken around it. And you see the waters get kind of dark. And you see a dome of destruction come from that place. You saved her from the cataclysm, it seems. Or that part of her.
Wow.
So.
I'm glad we started here.
All right.
I really hope the other three are like saving her from bad dates.
So, that is successful, and that is your
One of
turn.
them has to be Bucket.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's not Jarrko.
No.
One of them, she lost a bed and had to go on a date with Charlie Bucket.
Yeah.
So, that happens, and unfortunately, the only one close enough for this other creature to move up and attack, not the big creature that's attacking Zulk, the other.
Yeah. How is he doing with that, by the way?
You can tell that he's can hold his own, and that this thing is definitely formidable, and you wouldn't want to tangle with it. But it's tiring to say it. You guys don't feel tired, just because it doesn't seem to work that way. You feel mentally exerted because you've had to do stuff mentally, but he seems to be fighting very hard mentally, and very, very difficult fight for him mentally. Though he seems to be winning at the moment.
Okay. And you were saying about this, the humanoid one.
Yeah, the humanoid one comes right up to Cashew.
Hey, big guy!
Yeah. And he swings at Cashew.
Just with his arms, or?
Let me see. It would be appropriate, yes. His hand kind of comes up, and it starts out like a normal size, but as he raises it, it grows, and it slams at you. Tries to claw into you. So he moved up to you, now he's going to swing at you.
Do I have to recalculate my hit points based on my charisma constitution?
No, that seems
Are you
very...
sure? You sure I can't do that?
That seems unnecessary at the moment. If it comes down to it.
9 hit points.
If it comes down to it, we will possibly do something like that. But he rolled a 3, so I don't think that's going to hit you. And his second attack, rolled an 18. Minus 5. Minus 5 is going to be 13. Does a 23 hit?
It does.
Okay. Then he does hurt you for... There we go. Got 2 of them. Eight damage. And it's not damage like you're physically hurt. it damages that part of you, yourself, your mind. It's negative damage, if that makes any difference for any of your stuff you've got going on in your character.
No.
Okay.
I
8.
don't know how to answer that question.
Yeah, I doubt it.
I highly
There's
doubt it.
anything.
I'm not using any brain magic right now, if that's what you're wondering.
Yeah. So that's 8 damage, 8 negative damage. Let me see. Yes. So that's 8 negative damage. Now, that was his last attack. That means we are... Yeah, that was his last attack. Now we're back up top, and it's Jarrko's turn, and we're still... You still hear the from the back, but you see Cashew getting...
Oh, Cashew!
Jarrko! He hit me with a giant fly swatter!
Oh no, creepy guy.
He's another
Yeah.
creepy guy.
He'll turn around and float that way.
Okay. It will take 1 movement to get there. So 1 action to get there.
Coming. I got that one.
Oh no.
Alright, second attack, let's see. 13.
No. 13 unfortunately does not hit. So you guys try to swing. You try to swing at it. Is that with all your magic going on there?
Yeah. He has like too much momentum, so he just like floats past him. Like,
So you kind of rev up and you swing, and it's like, oh no, and you just turn from the momentum of your first swing, kind of whiffing. You try to swing with the next one as you come back around, but it doesn't work. So you got this woof thing going on, this helicopter thing going on, as you try to get down there and wail on it.
Push him my way.
All right. Cashew.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to attempt a lingering performance, which is a performance check, usually with a DC of hard. Although that's up to you. It is a total of 22, 14 plus 8.
That is enough here.
Okay, so it won't help me this round, but this composition will last for 2 rounds instead of 1.
Okay.
So I'll have an extra action next round. Or, well, I'll have a free action next round.
Fair enough.
And I will raise my shield and swing my sword.
I swing my sword.
Have at you, fly swatter man!
What's so good about it is that's actually something Cashew would totally say.
Yes.
All right, what are we looking at?
You're forgetting I have him on my phone because this app is actually surprisingly comprehensive.
The Pathfinder, the Path Builder 2E app is out on Google, and I don't know if it's on iOS, but if it is, it's out there, and you can look for it.
AC 18.
18 to hit.
Yeah.
Yes, you hit. So,
I need a D8, which should be much easier to find, but naturally, as soon as I want one, it disappears into the mass. Come here, little polyhedron. That's a D10. Why am I finding nothing but D10s now?
because you needed them earlier.
Curse you, Gondor! Why did you not heed my call when I asked? 3 plus 3, 6.
All right.
They swing this wide tip cut just straight across.
Okay. So, you swing coming across, and all right, it slices into it. How much damage did you say?
6.
6.
Really quick, is dropping a shield a free action or does that cost an action?
Like dropping it?
Yeah.
Dropping something is free.
I think it's an action because it's like attached to your arm.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So it's not when you're holding, it's when you're gun attached.
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. So no. So you do 6 damage. It does not seem impressed.
Yeah, well.
Hmm.
I didn't roll super well.
So. All right.
That's all 3 of my actions because the performance takes 1, the shield takes 1, and the swing takes 1.
And your item is not ghost touch or positive, correct?
It is not.
All right.
Incorporeal as well. Aren't we incorporeal? We're here in Dreamland.
No, you're not. You literally jumped into a portal with your physical body.
We are here in Dreamland as incorporeal beings, much like that.
You think so?
Mm.
You physically jumped in a portal.
Yeah, and became ghosts.
All right.
What's up with Tibelda then? There's 4 of her. That's not normal.
What's happening to her is not normal. All right. So, moving forward. It is now Jalurie's turn.
Huzzah! Jalurie will use a 2nd level heal spell
Okay.
on this creature if it is within range. Because it's by Cashew, and Jella was by Cashew before she went to Tibelda, right?
Yes.
I
Jalurie.
mean, you're still tied to me.
Jalurie sees this type of creature, and it looks similar to the type of creature that was inside the skin of Gip. Does she still wish to cast a 2nd level spell on it?
This is heal this time, not...
Heal this time, not harm.
Oh, okay. I see what you're meaning now. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, here goes nothing.
Heal. Woo! That's a good attack. Bad.
Yeah.
Well, the attack doesn't really matter because it gets a save against it because it's two actions. In this case, I'm casting it.
And that's a fortitude save? It doesn't matter at nat 20s.
Darn.
Yeah.
So it takes half then.
It takes no on a critical success.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Half damage on a success, no damage on a critical success. Darn.
This thing, Cashew's magic item goes. No.
Sad trombone.
This being looks at you when you do that and goes, and it's like a shudder happens around it as the magic starts to come at it and hit, and it goes and dissipates. So,
all right.
just to
then
be
I
clear
think
on my flavoring, that is only because it crit succeeded. That's not necessarily because I'm trying to infer any kind of inability for positive damage to do damage. All right.
And last thing would be some shieldage.
Okay.
That's a cantrip.
For whom? You had shield on for like at the
Yeah,
It
you
only
beginning of
can't-
the day.
one round.
What was
Can't
that?
cast it again. You need to wait like a minute.
No, that's if you break it. You have to wait a minute.
Nah.
You raise the shield, force protected, counts using ranged shield action, plus 1 circumstance,
After you use shield block, the spell is dismissed and you can't cast it again for 10 minutes. So it's only if you use shield block.
Yeah. So
Wow.
you cast it, and you kind of got it held up.
Yeah, the wording does imply that.
Okay, so you got a shield up, basically, along with
Yeah.
your mage armor. Gotcha.
Not up. It's just a bonus to AC right now.
Gotcha.
So I haven't raised it. It's just there.
Gotcha.
Well, it's raised, but it doesn't require an arm. It's automatically raised. That's where the bonus to AC
Yeah,
comes.
no, it's raised, but I'm not using the
You're not
block.
using a shield block action.
yeah.
All right. Understood. Now, we're going to go in, and we're going to let this thing swing in on Cashew.
Yeah, don't do that.
I think that's what we're going to do.
Please don't.
I'm afraid that I done talked about it over, and we're going to do that. It nat ones on its first attack. I've done that like 3 times tonight.
Wow.
Yes. As he bats aside this big fly swatter arm with his shield.
Yeah. So it swings at you kind of absent-mindedly, and you bat it away because it was focusing on Jalurie. It refocuses now on you, and it swings again. It rolls a 6, so that's not going to do anything.
Woo!
And then we're gonna roll one more time. We're gonna get a crit. We're gonna get a crit. We did last time.
Hope not.
Nope. We did not. It rolled a equivalent of 4, and I think you're higher than 14 on your AC. So.
My AC is 20 right now with the shield right.
Across this plane of existence of some kind, you hear a So, that is its turn. We're back up top to Jarrko. You're close enough to hit Jarrko if you can.
Oh,
No
you're
helicopter.
gonna get it, creepy creature.
Dude, you get him. You do it, you guy.
You get him.
Oh, that's a 12.
No. That was good damage, too.
Oh. 13.
No.
Why did I cast this spell on you? You can't hit anything.
I'm spinning.
Wheeling around uncontrollably. Great axe out all the way.
Oh, I got a 0.
Oh, no. All right. So you keep swinging and swinging. Unfortunately, it is very much like the helicopter, and so someone looking on would see this big shadowy type thing. Well, this medium shadowy type thing swinging at Cashew, totally ignoring the spinning whirligig of a dwarf going back and forth, trying to smack it. But yeah, there we go. Okay, Cashew, what are you going to do?
Will this is the round where I have the extra action. I will I'm either gonna cast spiritual weapon or cast magic weapon on myself. The spiritual weapon is the scythe.
That's me does weapon?
Yeah.
Oh. So you're telling me Cashew could literally dress like the Grim Reaper and have a bonus to using the scythe?
Well, I mean, I don't so much use it as it uses itself.
That's fair.
All right, let me check here really quickly what a scythe does.
Okay.
It's probably the same damage.
Arm, deadly, 10, and trip. So it actually does a little more damage than the bastard sword does.
Yeah.
Or no, unless the spell dictates the kind of damage it does.
I think it does.
It's radiant.
But if you do more damage, I mean, you would do more damage with magic weapon.
Made of pure magical force. It deals force damage equal to 1d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier.
Hmm.
So it would hit incorporeal things.
Yes.
This weapon doesn't take up space, grant flanking, or have any other abilities.
A creature would. Okay. Well, that's kind of a bummer that it doesn't
Grant
grant
flanking.
flanking.
Change that, Paizo.
Figure it out. Am I flanking with Jarrko?
I guess if you consider the whirligig of dwarf flanking, yes.
He's threatening.
Well, he's there. All right, so yeah, technically you do have flanking.
Okay. So that makes him flat-footed? No, he takes a -2 to his AC.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah, he is flat-footed, which is -2.
Okay.
to you, flat-footed to you. And
For you. Yeah, then I guess I'll go.
All right,
I guess I'll cast magic weapon on myself.
do so. Just do that.
Does he have AOs?
No, it doesn't work that way.
But I do.
That fighter dedication.
That's a good dedication. Not terrible.
It's not terrible.
Very average. It's 11 plus 6 plus 1 plus 1 again. I gotta remember that I'm benefiting from my own inspired courage.
So 19 or 18.
6, 7, 8. Yeah, 19.
All right, does hit. This is a magical weapon, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
This is very magic now. For 11, 15 points of damage.
15 points of damage. You know you smack it. You know you smack it good. It just doesn't seem to work as well as what you would have hoped. So, you got it, but it didn't do as much as you wanted.
I guess the spiritual weapon would be next round.
Okay. Alright. Now, Jalurie. You still got this kind of amorphous shadow. It is changing its shape and moving and getting bulkier and smaller and bigger. So.
Alright, this time I'm just gonna use the level 1 one, because that level 2 one I can't afford to waste another.
Okay.
So, here we go, same thing. Whatcha! Oh, that was level 2. I rolled the wrong one. Wrong button. I'm just gonna go to my quick spell list that I made. And ba-da-ba. There we go. It's much worse.
God, you just cannot stop rolling crap damage.
Yeah. He still gets a save against this one, right?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Is it still 17 or is it one lower?
No, it's
17 for level 1.
Okay.
Because the spell DCs are consistent between levels now.
I thought that's what it was. And it's a fortitude save?
Yes.
It does not seem to affect him very well. I mean, you definitely got him this time. He didn't shake it off. But the damage was not amazing. He succeeded at the save, but did not critically succeed. So that's half of 5, is that what I'm seeing?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Duly noted. And we are to the amorphous shadow thing.
To the swatter man.
To fly swatter man. So,
Swatter man.
swatter man. Swatter man.
Instead of like Biff, just like "Bam, bam," it's just like the sound of like.
All right. So it's gonna swing in at. It's not very intimidated by Jarrko. So it's gonna swing in at Cashew again, and because Jalurie is way over there.
Provide a more alluring target, yo.
All right.
I'm
My
trying.
body is being brutalized by this.
Okay. So first attack is a 22 to hit.
Yep.
Second attack is 15.
No.
And third attack is 18.
No.
All right. Only one then. That's good for Cashew.
Thank you, shield.
7 negative damage.
Ow. Ow. My baddie.
My baddie. Don't hurt my baddie. Alright. So, that is that. Its turn is over. We're now back up to... Let me see. We're back up to
Yeah.
Jarrko.
Back up.
Oh,
Jarrko's getting a bit seasick from all the spinny.
Yeah, it's getting
Hold on,
winded.
baby. You wanna give me a hand, bud?
hey, that's a 20 with the flanking.
Oh, so Jarrko starts to spin around and he ends up going upside down, and then when he does, the thing isn't watching its feet, so it's like shink right into its amorphous leg that just slashes into it.
Ah! 20 damage.
All right. Magical. That just makes it magic, right? It doesn't give it any special qualities.
It's just magic.
Okay. So 19 damage.
No, 20 with the singing.
20 with the magic singing. Okay. All right. You get a solid hit in.
We get magic weapons, and he's like, "Oh no, I guess they're incorporeal now. Have damage, man."
Hey, I wasn't the one that wanted to miss today, Lucretia. So you can blame her.
You just call her Lucretia.
Lucia. I did accidentally, but Lucia wanted to miss. For some reason she thought family was more important than
Oh yeah,
the
how
game.
dare she, right?
You know,
That's
Yeah.
all right.
This'll teach her.
This'll teach her. I'll kill someone else. All right. So that damage was there. It did not seem to do as much as you thought it would, but it did do some, for sure.
Oh, I'll show ya. I'll show ya.
Jarrko is not the best. Jarrko is not the best taunter.
Well, I mean, I would use my con instead of my charisma. I'll cast heal. I'll do
how do you use your constitution to like deal wit? You just gonna belch at him?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's upsy downy, topsy turvy.
Yeah, it's upsy downsy and stuff.
Roll intimidate by stapling your own hand.
But
while
that would be
maintaining eye contact.
intimidating.
I'll use this macro for hits.
All right, so that's
a 19 touch. Minus that's a 20. That's a 15 touch.
15 touch. 15 touch AC does not hit.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. So.
All right, I'll do another swing. 17. No, actually, I'm flanking, so that would be a 17 touch.
On the first one?
Yeah.
That would hit.
So he takes 17 points of damage, and I heal 2 points.
Nice.
Nice.
All right.
I think.
All right, Jarrko, you reach out and you grab him, and the magical energy, as you're floating upside down, you grab his heel, and this magical energy kind of carries you up, and it carries him up too, and your guys kind of start to spin, and he's like, "Rrr!" And it spreads through him as kind of like white lightning through this shadow, and he goes out where his eye sockets probably were, and his mouth probably was, and he goes, "Rrr!" And it dissipates him.
Oh, creepy guy. Oh,
Now
I'll
go.
show ya. What?
One more creepy guy.
Oh no.
So you see that the only thing is left is Zulk, and both he and the wolf beast thing, shadow thing, are kind of equally tired. They've been going at this battle for a while, the whole time y'all have, and they seem to, the wolf thing seems to not necessarily give up, but there's this moment where they look at each other, and the wolf thing knows he can't swing much more, but he knows that the wolf thing can't go much more, and so they both kind of just part. The wolf thing starts to move away, and he doesn't chase after it.
Put down their weapons and kiss, because that seems to be his thing.
No, that's not how it works. It's not what happens. So the wolf beast shadow thing moves away. It fades back away. You see as it kind of limps away, it looks over its shoulder at y'all, and it chomps down on one of the embers, and the ember disappears.
Cashew does the
Charlie Bucket.
Hey, Charlie Bucket. No. But you guys are awake and alive, and you've found a piece of Tibelda, and now there's just one more left. It seems. Well, there were three things, but we'll see how many you need to find. So,
Yeah. How many pieces do we really need?
how many pieces do we need of Tibelda anyway?
Are we? How much longer are we going?
We are going to stop here, as you guys are on your way to the other part of Tibelda.
I almost have the note translated, by the way, halfway through.
Oh, you think so? Okie dokie.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see if the thing's right.
We shall see.
Yeah.
How are you?
That'd be meta knowledge, but
Yeah. I didn't want to make it too crazy esoteric, because that would have gotten hard. That wouldn't have been any fun for you guys. So that's apparently what Jalurie's been doing this whole time. She was
that's why I keep
unconscious.
looking down.
Jalurie was watching the battle, but she was like,
That's why she kept doing min damage.
yeah, minimum
I'm
damage.
helping.
I'm helping.
Let me just cast this heal while I do my Sudoku.
Anyway, thank you everyone for watching. We hope you enjoyed. We actually have something else to record after this, so we can't stay on and say goodbye for a big long time. So, you know what? Have a great day. God bless and enjoy. Bye.
Why?
This content was made possible by the generous support of patrons and travelers like you. Thank you.